Feeling dreams into reality. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, we know from the creative process that life is set up to be an effortless, joyous experience. And here's a mini diagram of the creative process showing us the 5 parts of ask, which is the contrast that happens. The asking comes from the contrast, things that are unwanted or something we want more of or different. Then the creating, which is handled by our inner being, that is the expansion. So as soon as contrast happens, the expansion is done and ready for us to begin receiving. And then allowing is where we're choosing thoughts going through our day and depending what we're choosing. And then there's some manifesting going on, which is the law of attraction, connecting us with details in accordance with the energy that we're offering. And then there's the receiving. Now, here I'm strictly talking about dreams, so we're talking about offering positive energy, going to the law of attraction so that we're getting hooked up with the detailed path to receive the dream. So let's get into this and see how our dreams do flow around this cycle and come into our physical reality. So the dream really starts as contrast, and we don't really for the most part, we don't register it yet. Where we are in human evolution, it's usually a little bit after the contrast that we settle down and we're in a higher vibration that we do receive images of the dream from the contrast that happened. Because usually there's a bit of focusing on the contrast before we move on from that. But instantly, the dream is added as a vibrational reality, and so it's there. So that's the first creation. And then the second creation, of course, is when, through our positive focused mind, we're receiving it into our physical life. So the dream starts as contrast, and then it's a part of our vibrational reality. So it's a done deal, and it's all there for us. And we can begin to receive it as soon as now. And in the third part, which is the allowing, you could call that the inviting also is another word you could use there. Because when we focus our mind going through the day in a positive feeling way on all matters, then essentially we're inviting the details because the details are high vibration. And if we're high vibration, which is positive focus, now you can see that our vibration matches the dream, and it matches the path of details to the dream. So that brings us along to receiving those details. Now what's important is that between where we are here presently and the receiving of the dream is a path of details. And it's all high vibration. So, and also the path is things in our day, in our current day. It's woven into our day. Our inner being weaves all those details into our day, and we receive them again as we're positively focused. Now, in our day, there's 3 basically main things you can say that we think about in the day. These kinds of thoughts come to our mind. So our current physical life, all the aspects of our current physical life. And we can look at them in good feeling ways, or we can look at them in negative feeling ways. And I talk about that through many videos. So I'm not going to spend any time there other than to say that is one way we are focusing our mind going through our day. Another thing is that our past will come up. And so again, we can focus there either in a positive way or a negative way. And then dreams will come into our mind. The things in our vibrational reality, they'll come into our mind because they are high vibration, and so we get glimpses of them when we're high vibration, and so we do receive images of the dreams that we have. And when you receive those, what that's telling you is you've got a window into vibrational reality, and that's what is on its way to you. So it's really good to know that. And the other thing that's really good to know is that, see, all I said about our day to receive the things that we want is a positive, focused mind. It doesn't matter. The law of attraction doesn't know why or what you're focusing on that's giving you good feeling thoughts. It really doesn't care. It's just picking up that energy and it's handling it accordingly. And so when you are there for any reason, then you are receiving the path to all dreams in vibrational reality. See, it's completely effortless. There's no, the universe has made this so easy for us. That is what a lot of people question. How can it be that easy? And it is this easy. I mean, if you keep listening to the videos, you read my books, you do this for yourself, you demonstrate it to yourself, it's this easy. And that, it goes to show how faulty those faulty beliefs were that made us think it's otherwise. So people say, do I got to think about my dreams, or how often do I got to think about my dreams, or what techniques do I use, or methods, or strategies? And the fact of the matter is, you really don't have to think about your dreams for you to receive them. That is not anything you have to do, because the law of attraction, again, doesn't know if you're thinking about your dreams or what you're thinking about. It's just receiving your energy. So if you're positively focused, you are matching energy to the dream, to the details that take you to the dream, and so you move along to it. It is not a prerequisite or anything at all that you have to spend any amount of time thinking about your dreams. You don't. They're done. You did the work up here when you had contrast, and you wanted something different in your life, or more, or new, or anything along that line. It was done and created, and now it's just positive, focused mind for any reason allows you to receive the details that bring you together with the dream. So I wanted to make that very clear, that feeling your dreams into reality doesn't mean you have to feel the dream. Feeling the dream into reality means you're positively focused. You're feeling positive emotion. That's what it takes to bring your dreams into reality. It's just any positive focus. So I want to make this clear, because a lot of people think you have to do intentional things about those things that you want, some manifestation technique or law of attraction technique or something like that. And that's nonsense. You don't have to do any of that. It's way, way easier than that. Feeling your dreams into reality means you're feeling positive emotion. Feeling positive emotion, and you're feeling your dreams into reality. It's literally that simple. So the only thing is that you want to remember, as I said, because they are vibrational realities, and when you are high vibration, you are going to receive glimpses. You're going to receive thoughts of those things that you want. They're going to be received thoughts. And when they come, then you want to feel the fun of them. You want to feel the joy of it. You want to feel the interest of it. You want to feel the emotional essence of it, which is the presence of it, and the anticipation of it. But, that can be a brief thing. That could be 30 seconds and not think about it again for another, 3 days. You could intentionally bring it, if you wanted to play with it, you could bring it into your mind and have some fun with it. It doesn't matter. You can or you can't. That's just entirely up to you. There's no requirement on you. The creative process puts no requirement on you to give some airtime to that dream. It just requires that you stay in a positive, focused mindset. Again, it's that easy. Now, the distraction from that is, if we do have the image of the dream and we're thinking about it, whether it's received or we just intentionally brought it in, we want to make sure that we are feeling and thinking these good feeling thoughts. We want to make sure we're not thinking things like, well, what technique do I have to do to get this, and how often do I have to talk about it or affirm it, or do I need a vision board for it, and how do I know if it's coming, and how do I know if I'm doing it right, and well, why is it taking so long anyway? So you see, a lot of the faulty beliefs will get us into that kind of conversation, and if you're there about your dream, then you want to deconstruct that and reconstruct it into these kinds of thoughts so that it feels easy. It's got to feel easy. It's got to feel flowing. It's got to feel now. It's got to feel fun. It's got to feel enjoyable. It's effortless. It's got to feel effortless. So make sure that if you are thinking about your dream, it's in your mind, that's where you are in this high vibration zone about it. But just be aware, you do not have to think about it in order for it to manifest, as I explained here. Now let me just wrap this up with a quick example. My own personal life growing up as a young boy, I seen my father. He was a big inspiration for me. He didn't know any of this. In fact, he never even went to school. He had to help the family. They lived a fairly impoverished life. He did not know how to read or write. He could barely do some addition and subtraction. But that man was a dreamer. I don't know where he came up with his optimism, his positive expectation, and he held on to that ability to dream as we have as kids before other things enter our mind, but he held on to it. And I didn't know well into my teens before I realized that he couldn't read or write and whatnot, because he just ran a business, and he was able to navigate everything, because he was such an optimistic person, and was it just, again, when your energy's high vibration, it'll navigate you. It doesn't see in the creative process. There's nothing here that says you got to have education. That is not a prerequisite to play the game of the creative process. There is no physical world prerequisite to play this game. If you can dream it, you'll have the contrast. That's automatic. But then if you will imagine it when it comes into your mind, and you'll feel it, it doesn't matter if one person has some education and another person has no education, or many other different things. If you will feel good, positive emotion, you're going to receive. So as I got older, I realized, well, there was a lot of people that had a lot of education, and they didn't get things that they wanted, where he was getting things that he wanted. And so that just further helped me to think, okay, well, education clearly is not the answer to having the life you want. Not to say that there's anything wrong with education. Education is good, and when you want to do something and get educated, that's a very good thing, and that's all high vibration. But we want to know that we don't get education to as any way that guarantees we're going to have our dreams. It's just something that helps us foster our gifts and talents and express ourselves so that we can be high vibration to receive our dreams. But anyway, I can remember one time he was looking out a window in the house, and he said, there's going to be a Cadillac in the driveway. Words something like that. I can see a Cadillac or something like that. And I could just see the joy in his voice, in his face, in his eyes. I can just remember that as a young boy, whatever age I was. I'm not sure what age I was, but I can remember that when he talked, and there's other things he talked about, that he would have that look. And he didn't know any techniques. He didn't know any methods, any strategies. He didn't know anything about any of this. He was just living his natural ability to dream and feel a dream. And it wasn't long before that Cadillac was in the driveway. And many other things that he had thought about as well. So the message there is that we get way too caught up in thinking there's some specific thing. We got to read a book to get a technique to get things to manifest. And my father's living proof that he's passed now, but when he was alive, he was living proof that that is absolutely not true. You just got to know what natural dreaming is, and I attempted to explain that here to you in this diagram by helping you to know that the contrast caused the dream to get kicked off. It was set up as a vibrational reality, and now if you'll just relax about it, just know it's there. And it's on the way, and so you're feeling the fun of it, and you're feeling easy about it, and you're just really excited about it. You're anticipating it. You're not having any thought about why you can't have it. You just know it's guaranteed. And so if you'll treat your dreams in that easy feeling way, and not get caught up in that you should be doing something about it, or you got to think more about it, or you got to do affirmations about it, all that stuff is nonsense. You don't have to do that. It's way easier. Life is way, way easier than that. So he demonstrated. It was very interesting when I learned the mechanics of how this all works. That described or helped me understand why that worked for him like that. And the creative process explains it beautifully. So as he was feeling good, he was receiving the path, and the details came, and he received, and on it goes, right? So that's the video for today about feeling dreams into reality. It's a very effortless thing. It's a very joyous thing. It's a very natural thing. It's about feeling, period. Feeling positive mindset is what allows that dream to come into reality. It's that positive emotion mindset is the feeling, and when you're in that feeling, then the dreams just come into reality. They just flow in. That's the way this works. Okay, so I'll leave it there for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.